Welcome to the Belated Tech Channel's 90th edition and second year of the Space and Tech Rewind. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day in the week of February 21st through February 27th in space exploration, science, and technology. February 21st, 1902, Francis and Freeland Stanley filed papers to incorporate the Stanley Motor Carriage Company in the state of Maine on this date. They produced their first steam-powered car in 1897. By 1899, they had built and sold over 200 cars, which was at the time more than any other U.S. car maker, regardless of propulsion technology. Their early cars were made with a light wooden body attached by elliptical springs to a tubular steel frame. A boiler beneath the seat burned gasoline or kerosene to produce steam that drove the pistons of the engine. In the late 1910s, the fuel efficiency and design of rival gasoline internal combustion cars had improved so much that competition caused the company to enter a decline. Freeland sold the company in 1918 after the death of Francis, but Stanley Motor fared no better under its new investors, and it collapsed in 1924. Over the next 100 years, a number of attempts have been made to resurrect steam cars, none successfully. Not all of these attempts were by individual dreamers cobbling together one or two prototypes. Volkswagen, Ford, General Motors, Saab, and Studebaker-Packard all launched R&D programs and even built prototypes using a variety of fuel sources. The Stanley brothers had financed the launching of their steam car company by selling their photographic dry plate business to Eastman Kodak, who was looking to consolidate their market share in the film industry. Kodak outlived Freeland Stanley, who died in 1940 at age 90. The photography giant itself collapsed in 2011 and lives on as a minor printer manufacturer that makes film only for the movie industry. Those of you who are interested in analog photography pioneers should watch episode 41, where we cover the history of Polaroid. Folks who are interested in alternative fuel vehicles such as EVs should watch our Tesla and SpaceX Redux series, which can be found as a playlist on this channel. February 22nd, 1924. The first presidential radio address was delivered by U.S. President Calvin Coolidge on this date. Broadcast from the White House, the talk was carried on 5 stations with an estimated 5 million listeners. President Harry Truman delivered the first presidential TV address on October 5th of 1947. On the day of Truman's debut TV address, there were only about 44,000 TV sets in U.S. homes, concentrated in a few large East Coast cities, including Washington, D.C. The rest of the audience listened on their radios. President Donald Trump became the first president during their term to use social media to directly address citizens, primarily through Twitter, starting on January 20th, 2017. Ironically, most of his preferred platforms had banned Trump by the end of his one term in office. There is no word on whether Coolidge and Truman were banned from any radio or TV stations at the end of their terms. February 23rd, 1455. While maybe not exactly accurate, academics generally agree that the Gutenberg Bible was first published on this date. This was the first book on record to be printed on movable type. Until that point, books were copied by hand, which was obviously a slow, laborious process. 49 copies, partial or complete, of the Bible have survived out of the original 150 or so originally printed. The books are thought to be among the most world's valuable, although no complete copy has been sold since 1978. The Bible's name is in reference to the publisher, Johannes Gutenberg of the city of Mainz in the Holy Roman Empire, located in modern-day Germany. Gutenberg, despite his groundbreaking accomplishment, died in obscurity. The church and its cemetery where the inventor was buried was later destroyed, and its location is now lost. Gutenberg was rescued from oblivion by University of Mainz Chancellor Eva Wittig in 1504, when the academic credited him as the inventor of movable type in his book. Enjoying our content? We issue new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe so you stay current. Subscribing is free. and we encourage you to browse our 350-plus video library, where you can find more milestone installments for every day of the year, as well as tech documentary segments, current events in space exploration, science and technology, gameplay recordings, reviews of tools and equipment, and reviews of small electronics and appliances. Each video is tagged with an alphanumeric identifier in the title, so searches for particular segments are quick and easy. February 24th, 1997, the Russian space station Mir caught fire on this date. The crew of 6 was in the base block when the fire began in an oxygen cartridge in an adjacent module. 2 of the crew fought against the fire with extinguishers, while the others tried to push back the smoke. All the crew members had to wear gas masks. Fire control efforts lasted the 2.5 hours maximum endurance of those masks. The water from the extinguishers caused high humidity, and the temperature of the station's atmosphere was higher than normal. Nevertheless, operations eventually returned to some semblance of normalcy. Mir had been in orbit for 11 years, and would be in orbit for another 4. The station already suffered from a mold problem, which gave the interior a foul smell and degraded equipment. The water from the extinguishers, while life-saving, no doubt further contributed to the problem. February 25th, 1902. The first power-driven vacuum cleaner was built by Hubert Cecil Booth of London, England. The previous year, Booth devised a filter bag system that made commercial vacuum cleaners practical. A vacuum cleaner pump driven by a petrol or electric motor sucked air through fabric, which caught the dust. Though effective, Booth's machines were so bulky they required 2 workers to operate them, one to maneuver the refrigerator-sized vacuum chamber, and another to wield the suction hose. An early use of Booth's machine was to clean the great blue coronation carpet under the throne at Westminster Abbey for the coronation of Edward VII. Have you agreed with our choices, or do you think there are other events in space and tech history that were better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. If you have suggestions for other space and tech milestones, let us know. We'll credit milestones we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. And don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. February 26, 1966. Apollo 201 was lifted to 303 miles of altitude by a Saturn 1B rocket from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Launch Complex 34 on this date. It was the first launch of an Apollo command module, unmanned or otherwise. The launch was suborbital, and the capsule returned to Earth in the Atlantic, being recovered by the aircraft carrier USS Boxer. Apollo missions received 3-digit designators starting with this launch's AS-201. This was changed 3 missions later for AS-204, which caught on fire during a pre-flight check, killing 3 astronauts. That mission was redesignated Apollo 1. The next mission, which was the 5th, was designated Apollo 4. February 27, 1992, the Russian analog to NASA, Roscosmos, was born on this date when Russian Federation President Boris Yeltsin signed a decree for the formation of the Russian Space Agency, or RKA in Cyrillic. The RKA was later reorganized as the Roscosmos State Corporation for Space Activities, hence its commonly used name. Roscosmos is headquartered in Moscow, with its main mission control center in the nearby city of Korolyov, and the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center located in Star City. Its launch facilities include the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, and the Vostochny Cosmodrome, which is currently under construction in the Russian Far East in the Amur Oblast. Roscosmos director since May 2018 is Dmitry Rogozin. On February 21, 2022, Virgin Hyperloop announced that it had laid off 111 employees, or about half its staff, and abandoned plans to develop a passenger transit system. The layoffs were conducted by video teleconference, an absurdity originally introduced as unlikely humor in the 2009 Jason Reitman movie, Up in the Air, and, much to the surprise of the employees, who hadn't any inkling that the company was in trouble. The company had successfully completed a passenger test in November of 2020, reaching a top speed of 107 miles per hour in an evacuated 1,600-foot test track. Without passengers, Virgin was able to accelerate its hyperpod to 240 miles per hour. Virgin Hyperloop was founded in 2014 and recapitalized in 2017 with $295 million in alpha round financing, bringing the total in funding to $485 million. Sir Richard Branson was originally chairman of Virgin Hyperloop, but was ousted in November of 2018. The company had been founded during the viral period after 2012, when Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk endorsed the technology and eventually sponsored several small-scale Hyperloop competitions. SpaceX suspended the competitions at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and has not resumed them. Virgin has stated in its announcement that it intended to abandon passenger hyperpods and instead concentrate on freight. It is not clear how high-cost Hyperloops will be able to compete with conventional rail lines, which move freight at some of the lowest cost per ton figures in the transportation industry, or air freight, which moves cargo without the limitations of ground-fixed vacuum tube transport. Nevertheless, the United Arab Emirates, who effectively controls the company, plans the operational start of freight Hyperloops in Dubai and Abu Dhabi in the mid-2020s. We'll keep you posted. We hope you enjoyed this 90th episode of Belated Tech's Space and Tech Rewind. If so, click that like button. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, or just stay in touch by following us on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below: the community feed for this channel, our Instagram feed, and our Minds page. We announce all new videos and post some unique content on those outlets. And if you prefer an alternative video distribution source, considering visiting our channel on Rumble. Thanks for watching.
Like most other home computers, the Commodore 64 is small and very agile. Unlike most other home computers, it has an enormous 64K memory. This means you can use more exciting and advanced software programs and get so much more enjoyment out of your home computer. The Commodore 64, remember, it costs less than £230, and don't forget, it has the enormous memory.